Welcome to the What's Cooking series. Today, Carissa McKay, one of our health promotion specialists, will be making an old family favorite recipe. And as Carissa can attest to, nothing tastes as good as home, especially right now when we can't connect to family the way we would like to.
Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to prepare a meal that is from the cookbook that my mom had ever made for me, and it was in her own writing, which is this one. And the recipe is Biefstuk Hong Kong, which we're not actually using beef for, we are using moose. So I guess we could call it Biefstuk Hong Kong. I'm not exactly sure why it's called that. My parents are from Indonesia, so it's possible that there's some Malaysian influence, but the ingredients in any event are a tablespoon of freshly squeezed orange juice, 3 tablespoons of ketchup, where is that? Over here. 2.5 tablespoons of creamy peanut butter, a medium chopped onion. I put 1.5 cans of mushrooms. One of them is drained and one of them isn't because we need to have some juice in the power pressure cooker or Instant Pot or whatever that you have. This is a moose roast cut into sort of small cube-like pieces. And then we also have 3 tablespoons of creamer milk. We just had 2% in the house. And this is 2 tablespoons of thick, sweet soy sauce. If you don't happen to have thick, sweet soy sauce, that's okay. Just use probably a little bit less, 1.5 tablespoons of regular soy sauce, and add 2 teaspoons-ish of sugar. And then you're just going to taste it. So I can't really describe the flavor, but you'll know if you need to add more sugar. So we are going to move to the cooking portion, and I'll show you how it all comes together. I'm not sure how your guys' pots work, so I just put mine on the chicken meat function. Actually, first I have to turn it off, then I put it on chicken meat function, because it heats up the pot and I can actually just fry the meat up in there. So I'm just putting just a little zhuzh of whatever kind of oil that you have. We happen to have olive oil in the kitchen. We'll let that heat up a little bit. And I always like to start with the onions because I don't like the flavor of raw onions, even though it's going to sit and cook under pressure for a while. It's just nice to get a little bit of a sizzle on those. Should be hearing something. We also don't normally have this large plant in the kitchen, but it tipped over at the office and it's waiting to be repotted and it's leaning up against the bar. So we kind of have this nice tropical thing going on with our Swiss cheese plant in the background. So I've actually gone ahead and dumped the meat in there as well, and I'm just going to give it a little toss up every once in a while till it has a little bit of a brown on it. And once it looks like things are cooking, then I will go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients, and then I put the lid on it, and the rest is the magic of this cooker pot thing. All right, so now as you can see, it's mostly browned. The color looks a little bit off because of my high quality camera equipment, but for the most part, I think that's good enough that I can now dump in the rest of the ingredients and put the lid on. All right, so now I've gone ahead and dumped in the ketchup, the peanut butter, the soy sauce, the mushrooms, and in the middle, though you can't see it anymore, is the cream. And if I said orange juice, I meant lemon. I meant it was 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, not orange juice. Hang on, now I even have to check. No, definitely lemon juice, but definitely only 1 tablespoon. So sorry about that. And as you can see, it's all bubbling away, so I'm just gonna give it a big stir up, and then I'm gonna put the lid on. I'm gonna hit the soup stew function because that actually works beautifully, and then I will show you how it looks when it's done. So I had to turn the fan on, and the kids and my husband, well, there's only one kid and one dog and a husband, so I guess that's all the kids. Anyway, they're playing with the Angry Bird, so apologize for the background noise, but I actually decided to put it on the meat function instead because it just will for sure make sure that that meat is extra nice and tender. So here's what it looks like all done. We've just served it over some white rice, which could also be brown rice, but we didn't want to have brown rice today. And we just happened to be serving it with a side of peas and a lovely glass of milk. And my videographer can't wait to dig in. So Daphne, why don't you have a bite and tell us how it tastes? Well, of the meat.
I'm eating both. It's
Oh,
delicious.
we're getting a thumbs up. So there you go. Go ahead and try that out if you're a bit adventurous. And as we say in Dutch, eet smakelijk.
Did you notice that Carissa's plate looks like this balanced plate that many dietitians would recommend? Thanks for tuning in, and maybe give this recipe a try or one of those old family favorites that make you happy.